You can't keep getting away with it!
That is a dramatization of what Trump looks like in the White House right now, after a shadowy group of artists struck again with another giant statue mocking Trump right on his front lawn.
He can't keep getting away with it!
I think it's awesome that these artists are doing this every week, especially now when it's surprisingly dangerous to be doing so, as everybody from Jimmy Kimmel to local school board officials are losing their jobs if they post something that is even perceived as being offensive. But even still, this group of anonymous artists are going strong, starting this new tradition of weekly installations, a rotating gallery of middle fingers to the president. Here's a short list, in case you missed it, from the infallible Steve Harness.
And if you've seen some of my other videos here, you know that we've had a lot of artists trying to defeat that sword with public pieces of protest art, like the bronze poop on Nancy Pelosi's desk, the golden TV playing Trump and his buddy Epstein together on a loop, the dictator-approved golden fist crushing the Statue of Liberty. How about the red Trump statue coming out of a sewer in New York City? The J.D. Vance mural in Philadelphia, or the giant Elon Musk head at a state park that he gutted the funding for. How about the street art in Los Angeles showing Trump and his boyfriend? The plaque on a Trump golf course bench honoring the terrific guy, Jeffrey Epstein, or both of them being projected onto Windsor Castle in England this week, appearing on mugs together in the gift shop there. And of course, their faces on a giant picture on the lawn of the castle.
And this is the latest rendition of real, genuine protest art. Don't worry, this isn't a false alarm like the golden statue from last time. These artists wanted to immortalize Trump and Epstein's long, very deeply held friendship. Just like your friendship with Really American can be immortalized by hitting the subscribe button, there is a series of plaques on this bronze statue of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein gingerly holding hands while throwing their other hands in the air and kicking their legs back like they're frolicking through a field of flowers. The middle plaque reads, "In honor of friendship, we celebrate the long-lasting bond between President Donald J. Trump and his close friend Jeffrey Epstein," with the classic millennial version of the hand heart. And just below, it says, voiceover, "There must be more to life than having everything." If you just had a chill run up your spine, that's probably because you recognized that that's the first line of Donald Trump's creepy little letter to his best friend Epstein. Here's the plaque that's under the statue of Jeffrey Epstein. It's all of his lines from the weird, sketch or skit that Donald Trump wrote. And of course, on Donald Trump's side are all of his lines from the script, along with his very real signature, despite what they're trying to say.
I don't do drawings. I'm not a drawing person. I don't do drawings.
And the statue is still there. This was just posted a couple of minutes ago, and you can see that even at nighttime that a small crowd is gathering so people can take photos of this momentous piece of art. Now, the artistes who are responsible for this awesome masterpiece are yet to be revealed. They apparently contacted the Wall Street Journal here to give them a heads up, but understandably did not want to be identified. Here's the headline from the Wall Street Journal: "Statue of Trump and Epstein holding hands placed on National Mall." The work is the latest installation in Washington by an anonymous group of artists critical of the president. The Wall Street Post was alerted to the Trump and Epstein statue early Tuesday morning by a text from someone claiming to be one of the artists responsible for its creation and its predecessors. His identity has not been confirmed by the Post, but he has provided information about the artworks that would only be available to someone involved in their manufacture and placement. In a photo interview Tuesday, he said he wants to remain anonymous because he wants the artwork to speak for itself. I think that is the perfect approach. We have something of an American Banksy happening here. The new installation drew scorn from the White House. Liberals are free to waste their money however they see fit, but it's not news that Epstein knew Donald Trump, because Donald Trump kicked Epstein out of his club for being a creep. Yeah, right. White House spokeswoman Abigail Jackson said in an email, Democrats, the media, and the organization that's wasting their money on this statue knew about Epstein and his victims for years and did nothing to help them, while President Trump was calling for transparency and is now delivering on it with thousands of pages of documents. One, just because other people may not have said anything about it in the past doesn't mean that we shouldn't do anything about it now. And two, the thousands of pages of documents are just the same documents that we're getting over and over and over again. It sounds to me from the statement that the Trump administration is not happy about these artworks. They're probably not showing Trump them directly, or else he's going to be pissed. I mean, we know his ego is as fragile as his grasp on reality.
People don't like me.
Here's how some of the people in DC responded to the statue. Dan Mariano, 32, was going for a walk in the mall when he came across the statue. He said, "It's a very powerful message to show that rapidly disappearing freedom of speech still exists, not just in the United States, but here in the Capitol," Mariano said. The statue, he said, is a reminder of what is going to be part of the president's legacy, his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. The legacy of the two men are inseparable, like peas in a pod, peanut butter and jelly, Rudy Giuliani and prostitutes. District resident Alexander Howard, 48, said he was excited to see the statue. This epitomizes exactly how our First Amendment continues to uphold in practice, not just in principle, he said. We're still allowed to do that most American thing, poke fun at the most powerful people in the world, including the elected leaders and oligarchs who govern us. If there's one thing that Americans are going to do, it's make a lot of noise when we're not happy. Mary Zhu, who was out for a morning run when she stopped to see the artwork, said, "With all that's going on, I'm pleasantly surprised that this is something that is still being allowed," she said. Not everyone, however, wanted to go on the record. One couple said that they were federal employees who had taken early retirement. They liked the statue's message, but said that they didn't want to attach their names to a quote, just in case it would jeopardize their retirement agreement. And I can understand why these folks wouldn't want to be named, because even people who have a much smaller footprint than being listed in a Post article are getting digitally lynched by MAGA for not even saying anything offensive at all. This school board member in Pennsylvania was forced to step down after MAGA thought that she posted something negative about Charlie Kirk, but really, it was about gardening. Here's what the lady posted: "One down, hundreds to go." And she alleges that her post was meant to accompany a video of wind blowing one of the milkweed seed pods that she customarily releases to nourish monarch butterflies. The lady was literally talking about releasing seeds, and now she's released from her position. But regardless of her many apologies, they held a school board meeting that drew about 60 people, much larger than their usual sparse crowds. 3 of the 7 community members who spoke at the meeting expressed support for the woman. 3 other members assumed that Hunt's "one down, hundreds to go" comment was indeed about Kirk's death, despite her denial. The woman eventually stepped down, saying that she apologized for causing pain, misunderstanding, and division. "Even though I did not celebrate anyone's death, I do not condone violence, and the safety of myself and my children is now in jeopardy." She described people threatening her place of work and pressuring her boss to terminate her employment. "My children, we're all afraid of going places right now, so it's been really hard for the family. It's just where we're at." And they attacked her for literally no reason. Some of the comments replying to people calling her out are just so good. "You guys are deep in your feelings about this. She so obviously wasn't talking about Charlie, but keep crying. Who cares what she does outside of being on the school board? Sick of seeing this shit. What a bunch of crybaby bullies." That's 100% correct. It's a rough time out there, folks, for those of us willing to speak our minds. I mean, it's only fall, but it feels like a blizzard out there with the amount of snowflakes walking around. If you're somebody who doesn't care about offending dear leader and you want to stay informed on the stuff that MAGA doesn't want you to know, then subscribe to Really American. I'm Tony Hinderman, and I'll catch you next time.